What's up, y'all? It's Friday night. I am Crescent, and welcome to the Madness Collective. My host is Antoine. Co-host? Yeah, you're co-host, not just a host. Problematic and loud. That works. Yes. So tonight, it's just us, rolling with us. We are the Madness Collective, and we do our best to recap the headlines. So let's get into it. Tonight, the social media life cycle of a TikToking racist trad wife. Sounds fun, right? Yeah. Did anyone have race war kicking off at a Bad Bunny concert on their 2024 bingo card? Anyone? Just curious. Anybody? Right. Speaking of attempted and real mass shootings, the crazy right-wingers on the court just made it easier for another Vegas-style shooting to happen. Thanks. Still on SCOTUS. Guess who had 3 more trips that he did not disclose? That's right. The coon on the court. I said it. Uncle Thomas. At the annual Southern Baptist Convention, IVF has declared the devil's work. Sorry. Another SCOTUS decision declared mifepristone safe for now. And then the convicted felon went back to the scene of the insurrection crime yesterday to meet with his congressional cult members. And some CEOs sounded like they're a little concerned about his crazy. We're going to talk about that. Speaking of the convicted felon, he talks shit about the city of Milwaukee, which is where the RNC will be held in a month. That motherfucker's nuts. Okay. Also, last, a new movie to check out in September with Sam Jackson, Don Cheadle, Taraji, and Kevin Hart. Yay. All that and more on this episode of
The Madness Collective.
Boom, boom, boom. Bing, 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 boom. Hi, Antoine. How are you? What's going on?
Doing okay. Yeah, y'all. I was a little late. Crescent loses her mind. She's the most punctual person on planet Earth. So, y'all, we give her some space.
I just get concerned. I'm like, are you alive? Like,
no, if it ever happens, if it's after, like, it ain't never gonna be later than like 7:01, 7:02. If something is wrong, I'm gonna text you beforehand. Okay. Usually, what happens is I got home late and I have to leave for a booty call afterwards, so I gotta, get ready beforehand. Us gays, we nasty. We gotta be extra clean. So.
Friday Night Live. Hey, Tony. What's up, Jason? Hey, Dion. All right. Before we get into all the Father's Day with Nick Cannon, because this weekend it is Father's Day. And, Nick Cannon got a starting football team. 12. He got 12. You need 11, right? I think for football, for the sports ball, as you call it.
The sports.
He has a dozen kids with 6 different women. So. Here's what he told People magazine. He said, it's supposed to be a day where I get to rest, but I want to give all my kids the opportunity to connect and give me gifts and all that type of stuff. It's a fun day, and I appreciate all the love that I get on that day. So y'all know what's jumped out at people, right? It's the give all his kids the opportunity.
I think it's an opportunity for him to remember who all his children are and to refresh himself on their names and shit. Like, I could see him like looking at one of them like, damn, you look just like me. I know I fathered you, but fuck, what is your name today?
Also, given the uniqueness of the names, that's a lot. That list is wild. It was one of them I liked. I can't remember which one it is. But it's this new thing, particularly with niggas. It's a trend naming your kids adjectives. Y'all know this, right? You've seen this, right? Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I think like one that I thought was cute, I think the game's daughter's name is California Dreaming, so they call her Cali Dream, I think, for short. I thought that was cute. But and then I think one of Nick's daughters is named Powerful Queen.
Yeah, I think that's one of them.
Yeah, I don't know how you shorten that. I don't know how power. I mean, power cute. PQ. Yeah. Or just Queenie.
Just Queen.
Queenie. Yeah. So, I still think. Real quick, I don't know if y'all saw this. There was an ad running for a company called Dr. Squatch, and they make hygiene products for men. And they had this promo running where you could fill out a questionnaire and they would tell you how much your nutsack would cost to be insured. And they hired Nick Cannon. They hired him for the ad campaign. So if y'all get a chance and you want to see some ratchet, just look that up.
the one that stuck out to me was Zillionaire Air is the middle name. Zillion, and then Air is the middle name.
Oh, okay. Now we on some Northwest. We doing the Northwest. So that's the other thing niggas like to do. They like to take a long word and chop it up into parts to make that a name, because that's what they did with Northwest.
Okay, so then also Onyx Ice, beautiful Zeppelin. Zeppelin.
I actually like Zeppelin. The beautiful part is too much. I like Zeppelin, but
I'm not mad with Zeppelin,
but the association with, you know, the Nazis. I don't think of Zeppelins without. It's two things I think of when I think of a Zeppelin. I think of the one that caught on fire and went down. I think of Nazis, and I also think of the band Led Zeppelin, who also dabbled in the occult. So all things that have a goddamn thing to do with us niggas over here minding our own motherfucking business. So, but I like how it sounds. Yeah.
I didn't want to get into these names, but now that we're talking about it, Rise Messiah.
Which one?
Rise Messiah. And then
that's I mean, you putting a lot of pressure on that child.
Bit. And then Zion, I don't know how to pronounce this. Mixolydian? M-I-X-O-L.
It's Mixolydian. That's a scale. It's a musical scale.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, not familiar. Legendary Love.
Let me. I don't want to laugh at these names, but you know
that's
what?
That's why I didn't want to get into these names.
Oh my God, Legendary Love.
We moving on. So again, to note, what he said was, I want to give all my kids the opportunity to connect and give me gifts. So responses were, a meet and greet with your own children is absolutely insane. One, a press day for your own child is wild. For your own children. He said opportunity like it's a sweepstakes. And then somebody else
I got the Tyra one.
Oh yeah, I didn't. And then right, so this one, 12 wonderful seeds stand before me, but I only have 6 photos in my hands. Like, I just thought that was me. I was just like, oh my God. Oh, that's what we're doing? And you got the Chili's one?
Oh, no, I don't have the Chili's one. This is the only one I pulled up for him. Unless, wait, is Chili's in the... Oh, they're not in the original. They're in the original article?
They're in the show photo right underneath. It's the second.
Oh, no, I didn't have them in the second. I don't have the Chili's one.
Okay. So somebody did say, though, why did I immediately assume that this was announcing a reality competition? But the Chili's, literally the company, the restaurant said, we're getting our biggest booth ready. I love when brands get in. I'm like, I'm not mad.
And somebody said, y'all got a booth that big? And they said, we actually were pushing some tables together.
See, look, when clearly one of us is be running social media at some of these places, I'm for it. Okay.
The smart ones, at least.
Yeah, that part.
The smart brands.
So moving on, racist TikToker fired. We meant to talk about this on Wednesday, but I forgot to put it on the show flow because both Antoine and I came to it separately. So, do you have her original video?
Oh yeah. I got it queued up. We could go for it. Let me pull this off so y'all can see it in its entirety.
Okay, this time I have a beef with the male community. I give my criticisms to all because we are all about equity and inclusion here, right? So I'm sick and tired of all girls getting blamed, or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if it's because you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami at 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub. You're getting the opinion of some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas. And they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money.
While wearing the cross. While wearing the cross.
My type is broke mechanics.
I'm sorry.
Hippie dudes.
When I first saw it, I laughed my ass off because I didn't see that coming.
Right. No.
I didn't see it coming, and it was how she used it, which, you know, for her, it don't make no difference. But it's funny. Had she just continued with that narrative where it was specifically geared towards gold diggers and niggas with no money, I'm not saying it was right, but had she just stuck with, like, I shouldn't have used that word, but that phrase carries so much meaning in the community that it comes from. I couldn't think of a better word to use, even though I shouldn't be using it. It would have been wrong, but I could have understood that. But clearly afterwards, when we found out what her intentions were, it was like you were trolling.
Yeah, been a journey. So up in arms, social media, everybody, response was like, bitch, what? So she got fired, which kills me. She was working at a home health service. It's a company that provided home health services for the elderly and was like owned and managed by like a person of color. I think a Black woman, right?
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the company's owned by, I'm pretty sure, either a Black woman or a person of color. But
oh
I think
my
it was
God.
Black. They, of course, posted a statement, did not say who the employee was, but it said, a newly hired employee made inflammatory remarks on social media that do not align with the values and beliefs of our company. Goodbye. So then it's interesting, though. She actually came to the defense of the company. She was like, my former boss is great. I stepped away so that she would not lose her business. Leave her alone, y'all. The woke mob is a real problem here. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And
so
I actually, what's funny is, I actually believe her.
I do too.
I don't believe she got, I believe it was a thing where she probably is friends with the boss, particularly considering the type of work that she did. She probably told her, girl, I did some crazy shit. I'm going to step away. Just tell everybody you fired me, because if you don't fire me, they're going to chastise you for continuing to employ me. I think that's actually what happened. That's fucked up.
I'm not giving her that much credit, but I do think she was like, yes, it's best that I leave. And so there's no drama here. Like, I don't know if it was that well thought out, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying. She has since gone on InfoWars, which may be doing a hard restructuring very soon.
I mean, go. You know what? This is the equivalent of like when the night is almost over and you was trying to hook up with a bad bitch and like the night is about to end and everybody is kind of scurrying. That's when your standards start to drop, because you're about to go home and you want something to pound, and your standards start dropping because the pool to draw from is starting to thin out, and so your options, you don't have as many options, so you might choose. Yes, InfoWars. InfoWars is that girl. You ain't had you had no other options. What the fuck? The only place that would give you a platform was the sinking ship that is InfoWars. Them motherfuckers don't even know if the lights gonna be on in 2 days. So why not bring you on? Why not bring you on?
Sure. Shout out to CJ and Colin. What's up, y'all? So she went on InfoWars and she said that some, people were taking her words out of context, and that because they needed to have a racist, to be mad at. So she said, okay, fine. She's the perfect racist. These are her words. And that if these people need a villain, then she's down to volunteer. Thanks. She starts talking that freedom of speech, dumb shit. She said, there's not a lot of racism in this country. Girl, bye. She said there's issues with racism in other countries. Most recently, this was Thursday, today's Friday. So yesterday, she said, about to get on a plane, fingers crossed the pilots were hired because they were qualified, but not to fill a DEI quota. Jesus Christ. And then she shared a photo where the N-word is being used.
It's almost like, the reason I'm laughing at it is because it feels like something that I'm reading on The Onion. Like, I refuse to take her seriously. Like, even her strategy, she's not going to get traction this way. It's not going to work. The bottom feeders will invite you on their show. Again, platforms that don't know if they fucking lights go be on next week. I don't even know if the internet is working over there right now. But yeah, so that's all she's going to get. And she also, somebody did a post that said it's National Nigger Day, and it was a racist white woman. And it said, she did a post on Twitter that said it's, National Nigger Day. And then she said something like, we should be friends. And she got dragged for that because it's like, now you're thirsty and you're reaching out to other races to try and get traction, and it's not working.
To that point, right, the races are clowning her as well. And so now people are saying that this is a PSYOP situation. Like Jason Whitlock, who is you talk about coon. But even he's like, who is this chick? Nobody believes you, whatever. And I'm just like, well, I gotta be over here siding with like Jason Whitlock. What is the world coming to? It was gross. Ew.
Yep.
So yeah. So that happened. Also talking about people talking about it's National Nigger Day with a hard ER. Arizona man was indicted for plans to start a race war. You know, his whole plan was to get this going before the election, because after the election, he's concerned that there will be like martial law. Okay. So he's been indicted. He planned to shoot up a Bad Bunny concert in Atlanta. That was deliberate. Atlanta. He's been charged with firearms trafficking, transfer of a firearm for use in a hate crime, and possession of an unregistered firearm. We're going to circle back to this whole firearm thing when we talk about these bump stocks. So he got caught because he was chatting with a confidential informant and an undercover FBI agent. Sorry. So yeah. So his words: he wants to commit crimes against African Americans in Atlanta because he feels like Georgia is a fucked up state now, and it's our fault. When he was a kid, Georgia was a very conservative, one of the most conservative states in the country. And now, because of the crime got worse in LA, St. Louis, and all these other cities, all the niggers moved out of those places into
It's
Atlanta.
Just a week. It's just a hard R week. That's what it is. It's a week for the hard R's. Let's give it up to the R. We used to go. The R used to be Rakim, but this week it means something different. Hard R. Hard.
Ernest said that racist clown can't even spell martial law. And yes, I'm with Dion. If we start with Whitlock on anything, it's time to leave the chat. This is what I'm saying. It is upside down time it's 2024. It's upside down time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also, so he planned to leave a Confederate flag after the shooting to send a message that we're going to fight back now, and every whitey will be the enemy across the whole country. He said,
we might could be all right because I'm going to invoke a phrase that I haven't invoked in a long time.
I'm scared.
Cletus, Bubba, and Jethro hate us, but they are not the brightest bulbs in the socket.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair. Hi, Danielle.
So speaking of which, it's because one part that we didn't mention, even though he spoke to some undercover feds, the reason
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, but the reason the feds were involved was because he was talking to a civilian at a gun show, and he said some reckless shit to the civilian, and the civilian went and told the authorities, and then they brought in the feds to get in on it undercover. Like, hey man, I got some other honkies that want to kill some niggers, and he's like, more the merrier, and then he starts spilling the beans to them. You stupid motherfucker.
Let's go. Let's do it. Because all whiteys are on my side. No, they're actually not. Thank God. Thank God we still got some allies. Hey, what's up, allies? Yay.
God.
So yeah, thank you for that, Antoine. But he said, the men should show no mercy, no quarter. Is it the Civil War? I mean, I guess you were trying to get the Civil War going. And that they can't have any feeling. They're not people. That's us. He said, they're monsters as far as I'm concerned. That's us. We're the monsters. He told the men to shout, whitey's out here killing. That's what we're gonna do. KKK all the way. If you motherfuckers don't vote for the not racist trying to start a race war side, because he's clearly a Trump person. Clearly he's down with Trump. Okay.
And let's be clear here. If we're monsters, y'all love fucking monsters, because America is continuing. Y'all, you know what brown you know sausages, them brown and serves. America is a fucking brown and served sausage right now. It's hot. The block is hot. Their black pussy and their black dick is delicious, and y'all can't get enough of it. And stop talking about it. That's what you need to do. If you don't want this country to turn brown, stop fucking us.
Well,
it's easy.
No, it's not. They look during the Civil War. That's why me and you got some whiteys on the ancestry, because hello, should have left us where the fuck we were, but you didn't. So now here we are all together, all mixed up. I got some white
all
blood
mixed up.
You all got some nigga blood in you. You just don't want to cop to it. It's okay.
We got Carucci's, we got Drakes, we got Van Diesels, we got Rocks, we got anything you can name. Because you know what? Some of these people don't fuck with other people when they stand a group. Because How often do you see, fuck it, I don't care. Somebody can get mad if they want. I know the truth, though. I know why the fucking cage bird sings. How often do you see a Chinese person married to a Japanese person? That shit is rare. But it is Chinese and black motherfuckers walking around. It's Korean and black motherfuckers walking around. It's some Japanese and black motherfuckers walking around. Oh, Filipino and black. Nigga, they everywhere.
Okay, you know how you have the banner that says Antoine stays quiet? Do I get one of those?
I don't know, because you're a little more reckless than... I feel like you're a little more reckless than me.
Anyway.
You wanted them to run over Drake with a bus or something? Didn't you say that out loud?
I don't think I said that. Maybe I said if he got bumped a little bit with the bus. I don't think I said ran over. That sounds aggressive.
Y'all are a mess.
So Ernest said Cleus, Bubba, and Jethro don't have the heart for this fight. Tony said, thank you. When a fucking gun show seller sells you out to the feds, you are really, really fucked up.
Right, because I think you used the term ally. I don't necessarily think that was an ally. I think that guy was scared to be I misunderstood you. I think more than anything, he reported that guy to fear because he had been talking to him the whole time. There's video, I'm sure, of them at different gun shows. So if some shit went down, they would have been like, okay, what were you doing? What part did you play in this?
I'm laughing at the chat, at Ernest's comment.
No returns on the slaves.
Oh my God. When I mentioned ally, I meant because he was like, because all the whiteys are enemies. I was like, no. That's what I meant. I was like, there's some allies. Some of them on our side. So
definitely true.
So this whole gun show bit, this is, again, we talked about Hunter on Wednesday, and I'm like, Hunter would have been better off just fucking buying a gun at a goddamn gun show, but moving on. He sold this racist Arizona crazy man, sold an AK-47 to an undercover agent for $2,000 in cash. He could see a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison or $250,000 fine, or both. Conviction for possession of an unregistered firearm carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. So, speaking of these firearms, don't make that face.
These numbers don't fucking sound right at all. They done put niggas in jail for a nickel bag of weed for a decade. The fuck?
Especially Hunter looking at 25.
Yes,
this ain't making on a box.
This ain't making no sense. You literally playing that you brought in feds? I mean, I think Young Thug is up against more. You worse to me than Young Thugger. What the fuck?
Well, okay, what the fuck is NRA? So which takes us to Supreme Court's decision they handed down today about these goddamn bump stocks. And the crazy part about that is this was some fucking ban that Trump, the convicted felon, put in place, right? So
was Trump doing that as kind of a way to show that he had a heart or whatever after that shooting happened? I was shocked to have read that because I feel like the NRA would have fought him on that.
We're gonna come to that. So,
okay.
So just to refresh everybody's memory about this horrific shooting in Las Vegas, is the guy used multiple guns, which were modified by bump stock devices, which allows you to the trigger goes faster, to kill 60 people, and he injured 411 minutes. Okay. So after that happened, Trump and actually some of the other Senate and Republican in the House were like, you know what? We actually might need to do a real law. Okay. And then they kind of pulled him back and did an executive action to ban it. And so, he kind of did something else. They didn't pass a law. And so the NRA actually, there was pressure for them to not go as far as passing a whole law. So this was all strategic. Because let's see, right after massacre, the Trump administration, members of Congress were on the verge of passing new legislation to ban bump stocks. The NRA ran interference, pushing the Trump administration to ban bump stocks through the administrative agency regulation, which they then bet that this particular Supreme Court would make that shit mute. And they did.
That's wild.
This was all thought. This was strategy. This was fucking strategy. Okay. So the vote was 6-3. So we already know where that is. And their issue is, so what is banned is they were banned because they transformed legal semi-automatic weapons, which should be illegal, but they're not. But they transformed the legal semi-automatic weapons into illegal machine guns. This distinction is bullshit, but whatever. Which Sotomayor came to. So, right. And then Uncle Thomas said that a semi-automatic rifle equipped with a bump stock is not a machine gun because it does not fire automatically. He even had diagrams in his motherfucking opinion, like he was giving a goddamn class presentation. So Sotomayor said, as respectfully as she could, you motherfuckers is full of shit, okay? So, and then they explained the whole bump stock shit, which I don't want to go into right now because it's stupid. But, oh, no, that's not true. Because nobody disagrees with, like, how it works, right? Like, the bump stock essentially is a bounce on the gun. You put it's against a trigger figure, so basically you can just keep shooting, right? Everybody agrees about how it works. Thomas said the bump stock doesn't change the internal firing mechanism, so it can't be classified as an illegal machine gun. Miss Sonia, Miss Sotomayor, she was so pissed that she did a rare oral dissent. She was like, oh, I'm going to stand up and talk out loud. Fuck that written shit. I'm going to say these words out of my mouth so everybody's hearing exactly what the fuck I'm saying. She called it myopic to fixate on the internal functions of the gun and not the rapid shooting function that is added by the bump stock. She knows this allows a shooter to fire as many as 800 rounds a minute. That's not a machine gun. Okay. So this is the best quote from her. When I see a bird that walks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, I call that bird a duck.
Yeah, I love that.
You bitches. Also, what I just saw this before we came on. So apparently she also called out every single one of her colleagues for abandoning their textualist principle. So she called out Roberts and quoted him from other cases. She called out Thomas and quoted him from other cases. She called out Alito and quoted him from other cases. Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett. Each one of them motherfuckers. She said, in this one you said this, and this one you said this, and this one you said this. Bitches.
Well, I was listening. Man, I got to do better and make lists of these shows. I was listening to a podcast 2 days ago, and the whole podcast was about how in the past, Supreme Court justices have given explanations for why they made a particular judgment. And this whole podcast was about how they get that shit wrong all the time. They'll say, nowhere in the nation has there ever been a precedent for this, and such, we've never seen this. And then people go and do their research, and they're like, yeah, there were gun bans in towns in 1890. You're trying to say that there have never been any before because you didn't do your due diligence. You out here passing judgment that's based on false information. And what I think about that is, it's like, if you sit in front of the American public and you say, I'm a Supreme Court judge and my judgment is based on this, if somebody could go and do research and find that what you said isn't true, that shit should have to be reconsidered because you made a judgment based on something that isn't true.
Well, and this was mentioned on probably MSNBC because that's usually what I have on, where exactly what you're saying. And the other thing that this particular court is trying to do, which they're doing a very good job of, is dismantling and undermining the agency regulations. Because they did exactly point to exactly what you just said is y'all decide to like try and spend a fucking weekend learning about some shit that is not actually of concern to you. Stay with the fucking law. What the fuck does the law say? And stay with that. Not you out here. Let me go read up on like what shit, I was about to talk about an abortion procedure, right? Like ectopic pregnancy. That is not your concern at all. Right. That's not what you're supposed to be fucking like concerned with. So stay focused on what you need to stay focused on. But this is deliberate. This is very deliberate.
I would also say that, you know, as Americans and as technology changes, we're going to have to make adjustments to how laws are rendered, how judgments are carried out, because how different would the Supreme Court be if we had a person with a medical background sitting up there who could at least, someone with, whether it's an engineer, whether it's a doctor, well, they most of them have backgrounds in law, but this, like you just said, you're making a decision about a woman's body, about reproduction, and you took your ass and you got the Encyclopedia Britannica and read it for 3 hours, and you out here passing judgment on people. You're not a doctor. You shouldn't be allowed to make these decisions.
Antoine, before these crazy ass motherfuckers in the court, that's not a thing that happened. You have experts who know what the fuck they're talking about, presenting this information to the court. So they get the technical information that they need, but it's not supposed to be about that. like at all. I don't need a doctor in the court. Just stay focused on the fucking law. I'm actually surprised. We have the crayon from the race war up.
Oh, sorry.
The bump stocks. I don't know why. I'm actually a little bit surprised with Barrett and Roberts in this instance. Gorsuch, not so much. Kavanaugh, fuck you. But I'm like, Barrett, you cool with bump stocks? Just you down with the mass murders? And Roberts, like, y'all had an opportunity here. I mean, it still wouldn't have, because that would have been 4 or 5. But still, like, y'all sided with these crazy assholes. I don't. It's just terrible. It's gross. And please vote, because so we can replace Alito and Thomas in the next cycle, please.
It just feels like when people are dying, particularly kids, and somebody sits up and plays a game of semantics, when somebody has taken a third-party device which alters a gun to perform in a way that it was not intended to perform from the manufacturer. We shouldn't be playing these stupid ass Ranger games. It's a fucking machine gun, and kids, innocent people are, and what they talked about, the one woman who survived.
With her 3-month-old.
Yeah, with her 3-month-old, and she's just like, what the fuck? We can't be safe anywhere because people have decided they don't want to recognize something as what it actually is. Like, this is getting really dumb. Well,
yes it is. Sorry. Y'all know I'm home. I had a thought, but it's gone. Oh, Alito said, well, Congress just needs to pass a law. Not this Congress, not this House. And he knows that. Biden did what he had to do, though. He did say, basically, y'all need to give me a Congress that will pass this law. So please do that. Also, sadly, this wasn't on shuffle, but just as a note, the Sandy Hook class, those who were not killed, graduated from high school today, and they read all the names of the people who died, who were murdered. And that took like 2 minutes. And so just the fact that this decision came down today, and this is the anniversary of that, and I think it maybe is 25 years for Columbine or somewhere 30, I don't know. Like, it's just, this is our culture now, and it doesn't have to be, and it's depressing.
And to think after all that, this is where we're at. There's been zero fucking progress.
That's what it was. It said, what has changed? That's what the caption was. What has changed?
And in the meantime, we're watching, and it's crazy because of the fact that Hunter has been thrown into the mix here. You got a nonviolent offender who didn't do shit. We don't even know what his intention was. He is the son, he is the son of a politician. Maybe he bought it to protect himself, whatever. He didn't do anything with it. And, we have to hear about that all day and all night because of who his father is. And then you come over here where you could really, the one was unnecessary. And then you got this one where you could affect some fucking change. And when you want to talk about internal fucking mechanisms inside of guns, you fucking coon. Oh my God.
Okay. Speaking of said coon. So said coon, ProPublica and those doing this work, actually, no. They pulled Harlan Crow in and made him just give all the business. And so 3 more trips were taking that Thomas did not disclose. So there was one in 2017, one in 2019, and one in 2021 between various U.S. states, as well as the previously 2019 trip to Indonesia, where he stayed on Crow's mega yacht. So Uncle Thomas's attorney said the trips fell under the hospitality exemption. Also this week, Senate Republicans blocked yet another effort to pass an ethics bill. Why y'all pushing back so hard on some ethics? Like what's up with that?
How the fuck are the people who committing these egregious offenses, why do they have a say in any of it? How does that make sense? How does that possibly, it's like Alito said, no, I'm not going to recuse myself. Anybody who's got some sense would know that A, B, C, and D. And I'm like, that's great that you feel that way, but nigga, you the one who committed the offense. We don't care what you think about it because clearly your judgment is compromised. So somebody else should have to tell you, yeah, you think this is okay, but a group of us looked at it and morally, from a fucking employment perspective, all across the board, what you doing is wrong for the job that you have and how important it is. You playing in our face.
It is so wild that the Supreme Court is so fucked up right now.
It is.
And look, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Barrett, they're bad enough. Roberts to me wasn't always the worst, but especially with respect to this crew. But Alito and Thomas, oh, them motherfuckers is straight up wild. Like
they on some I said what I said type
criminals legitimately think and believe that they're above the law, and right now they are. I double checked because I keep seeing online like, why can't we get rid of them? Because to impeach justice, it's the same way you get rid of the president. You have to impeach. It has to go through the House, and then he has to get convicted by the Senate. It ain't gonna pass this house, not this house. Now look, we take the House back. If them motherfucking Democrats don't put together a goddamn trial on them too,
immediately.
That part. So wait, Colin said Clarence Thomas may be the highest paid prostitute in America.
Man.
Okay. So, speaking of the crazy, so this is actually in the Southern Baptist realm. The Southern Baptist Convention, which is the nation's largest Protestant denomination, said this IVF science shit is ungodly. They urge their members to advocate for the government to restrain actions inconsistent with the dignity and value of every human being. Did we just not get down talking about bump stocks and fucking mass shootings? I'm sorry, let me say focus. Which necessarily includes frozen embryonic human beings. Frozen embryonic human beings. They put that sentence together. I did not.
Yeah.
Okay. Because again, to remind people, but we have a smart audience, so you already know this. But the thing at issue is the creation of multiple embryos, and all of them all of them are not going to be implemented. You might have fucking 10. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is part of the science, though. Everybody understand this. The medical field, science, we get it. It's you religious motherfuckers who got a problem with it. So that's cool. You don't do it. Just stay out of my business. Anyway. So, of course, they got fired up by that crazy Alabama Supreme Court case. So now they're like, they saw a window and they're jumping through it. Because, but for that, they would have just been like, we're not touching it. We're going to leave it alone. But they're like, oh, Alabama Supreme Court? What y'all said? So, yeah, we want to fuck with that. So
I find it fascinating that, again, we're talking about Bubba Cletus and Jethro. It's fascinating to me that they consider themselves to be Christian. Like I grew up Southern Baptist. Mm-hmm. So it's fascinating to me how they make these strides to try and protect every human, from conception, everything. They're all human beings. These are also the people that are most likely to own 15 fucking rifles and handguns. It's so hypocritical. It's you don't care about the children that are here, but you fighting hard for the ones that haven't even gone through gestation yet. It makes no sense. Start with the ones that are here already and then work your way backwards. It's crazy.
So I do watch Morning Joe. I don't often quote Joe because he sometimes drives me a little bit crazy. But in this instance, because he grew up, same Southern Baptist, like this literally was his entire life. His mom, his grandmother. And so because in the before shit got super, super crazy, it was a pro-choice. They kind of was like, do you really, honestly? And so it became a switch when the Falwells and that crew were like, we need to figure out how to take back this particular demographic. So they, use abortion as a wedge issue. But his point is, so my mom and my grandmother who went to church 4 days a week were on this, pro-choice because that was the dictate then. Yeah. So what the fuck y'all doing now? So he was like, so you're saying my grandmother's burning in hell? Right? Like, he's like, that was not what y'all did in that era. So this hypocrisy and these just fucking bullshit y'all on right now.
Well, even everything that the evangelicals are supposed to stand for goes against what President Trump literally is as a person. But it goes to show that, like, again, I've said this before on the show, you are disgusting when you are willing to compromise your religious values for a fucking political candidate. Like, absolutely. You're fucking disgusting. That means to me you were never a Christian to begin with. You're concerned about some other things.
100%. And yes, what we keep saying, and CJ mentioned in chat, is literally not even about life. This is about control, period. Mm-hmm. So, and on cue, the Senate Republicans blocked a Democratic bill that would have protected IVF nationwide. It was a vote of 48 to 47. I don't know who was missing, but whatever. 2 Republicans did vote for it, Murkowski and Collins, because they're not 100% all the way crazy all the time. This would have established a federal right for individuals to access IVF-assisted reproductive technology services, also for providers to offer the procedure and for insurers to cover it. Hello, please,
do you know what that would change? I have a friend that paid
for
it.
Right now.
Look, you know what's crazy about my friend that did it? So they tried, and it was problematic. So they paid for IVF, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they paid for 2 rounds of IVF. Nigga. And the shit didn't work. And I think overall, they spent close to 80. And possibly. when they gave up after the second one, because before that they had adopted. Mm-hmm. So when they gave up after the second time, she got pregnant right away without the IVF.
I was about to say that she get pregnant. Yeah, that has happened.
Yeah, and it turned out beautiful. Like when she jokes about it, she's like, "I love both of them, but goddamn it, I wish they could have figured this shit out before all that money was spent." Yeah.
So the Republicans sought to advance a narrower bill that would have cut off Medicaid funding for a state if they banned IVF. Here's the thing about that. This would have let states restrict IVF in different ways. Okay. So it purposely ignores what happens to unused embryos. So it didn't address that. And it would do nothing to stop fetal personhood laws from totally fucking up any type of IVF care. So it was bullshit. So, that. Also in this vein, also SCOTUS handed out the mifepristone decision. And so right now it gets to stay on the market. But the only reason why it went that way is because the plaintiffs did not have fucking standing. And there's this whole conversation in the fucking opinion talking about basically how to get standing.
So, why is something allowed to go, like, again, talk about a waste of money. Y'all knew this from the beginning. Like, this should have never even went as far as it did. When you go say, basically, because, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm probably getting this wrong. The way I saw it is, it's them saying, y'all complaining about some shit that don't have nothing to do with y'all. Like,
you ain't been injured at all.
Yeah, nothing. This is all conceptual to you. So why are you wasting the court's time? Nothing happened to you. Why are you bringing this to the court?
Well, so to that, and I was going to try and address this like a little bit, because Melissa Murray, who I love, she's a professor at NYU and shows up on MSNBC all the time. So the standing issue, right? To your point, should have never gotten this far. At the very first court, it should have been thrown out because you motherfuckers ain't got standing. Just because you don't like something does not give you opportunity to have a fucking lawsuit. That's not how this is supposed to work. So, however, there's this like third party association carve out, and that was set up to allow organizations like the NAACP to advocate on behalf of their members, because what was happening in the South was that, like me as an individual, Crescent Muhammad, did not want to be trying to be out here fighting the fight solo, because they could just completely like wreak havoc on my life. And so as a member of the NAACP, there was a carve out that allowed the NAACP to fight on my behalf and everybody else who's a part of it.
Okay.
So because I think it was Alabama, they were trying to get the NAACP's membership rolls. And so the NAACP was like, no. So all of this went before the courts and got to the Supreme Court when the Supreme Court wasn't completely fucking insane. And they were like, nope, the NAACP can do this. So that's the carve out. And I don't know if they try to bring it in under that third party / association lane, because Thomas talked a bunch of shit about that because he doesn't like it. And so if that does get taken away, then, or basically if that gets fucked with, then that messes up with the opportunity for like civil rights cases to move forward on behalf of legitimately aggrieved parties, right? So that's in essence what I gathered today. Okay. So, and also Melissa Murray said this decision preserves access to medication abortion for now. There will be another case with better plaintiffs before the court faster than Thomas can book a ride on Crow's private jet. She was like, just blink, and there's going to be another case that's coming forward. So, okay. So convicted felons, you got these videos pulled up. Yeah. I appreciate this. So the DNC is getting gully. I'll take it. there is a January 6th mobile billboard that was apparently following Trump around Capitol Hill on his visit. All I needed was somebody yelling out from there, shame, shame.
Here you go.
Just driving around DC. Like,
why does fucking software update always pop up when I got something on the fucking screen? Not with the loudspeaker on the top too. They're like, y'all gonna hear it too.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody should have just been yelling shame, shame.
Yeah.
Dude, look, I would have been like, as a driver, I'm like, you ain't even got to pay me. This is gonna be like, pro bono. I don't give. Let's do this. Also, Swalwell and Adam Schiff, they had some commentary. Do you have a video for Eric? It should be the very next one.
Let me see here. Oh, Swalwell. Okay, yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a show of hands for anyone in the room who hung out with a felon today. Hey guys, probably want to get your hands up. You're hanging out with convicted felon Donald Trump. I don't think anyone on our side did. But that's why we're here. Just a show of hands for anyone in the room who hung out with a felon today.
I love him.
Here for it.
All day long. And then Adams is the next.
Yeah, we
best
got
one.
him.
It's bring your felon to work day. And look, wait, hold it up, leave it up there for a minute. You see Mark Hamill underneath has a caption because as a response, because this whole thing that Elon's doing with like making your likes not appear anymore.
Yeah, he's been on a rampage. So he also is on the Milwaukee one too. Did you see that?
Oh no, I didn't.
He's the first one on it. So he went to a bunch of liberal shit and just wrote.
Like.
I love him. He's such a good guy.
He's great. Wait, CJ said that software update is a saboteur.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn that motherfucker off. Look, we don't need nothing changing because remember I thought that's what our problem was when the kung fu mouth, and that was my router. It had nothing to do with the software.
The kung fu mouth. Tony said the level field that got dragged for. I mean, Pigpen doesn't have a dust cloud following him like their asses. I know that's right. Yeah. So yes, the next video up for Dunk on a Convicted Felon Day is okay. So the RNC is taking place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a swing state. Wisconsin is a state that the convicted felon would want to attempt to win. And yet, roll the tape.
Yeah.
He's so petty.
Let's pull this up.
In case y'all did not know, the mayor of Milwaukee is black. It's a black man.
Yeah, for some reason. Okay, let me fix this real quick. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to do this. Oh shit! Now we having a technical difficulty. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Oh,
well.
Damn. Okay, give me 1 second.
Oops, sorry, that might have been me.
I'm gonna fix this on the spot right now.
Look at the background. Look at the stars sparkling.
Oh, yay.
We're doing really good on time.
Yeah, we are.
Yay, go us. Come on, what's happening?
Here we go. God. No, I just gotta look, the fucking software update is right there. No, we got it. Okay, that should be good enough. We just go.
Okay, we'll work with that.
Here we go.
Oh,
Donald Trump wants to talk about things that he thinks are horrible. All of us lived through his presidency, so...
Let me go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Well, Donald Trump wants to talk about things that he thinks are horrible. All of us lived through his presidency, so right back at you, buddy. I'd say that. Look, obviously Donald Trump is wrong about something yet again. I find it kind of perplexing. I find it kind of strange that he would insult the largest city in Wisconsin because he's running for president. He obviously wants to win Wisconsin, win the election. And so to insult the state that's hosting your convention, I think is kind of bizarre. Actually, it's kind of unhinged in a way, especially considering the fact that in Milwaukee there are about 50,000 Republicans who live right here in the city. So you're calling their home horrible. I mean, I don't quite understand that. Well, Donald Trump wants to talk about things.
He pulled a Negro make it make sense on the president, former
I
president.
mean, look, campaign ad.
That's
All you need is Biden that stamp and say, I, Joseph Biden, endorse this message. That's all you need to add to it. The rest of it is fine. It's great. So also, I see Mark Hamels. I see it because I pulled it up on my other screen.
Yeah. He been all over the place.
He stay busy. I love it. Stay busy on Elon's terrible ass Twitter. So, the other thing though that I did mention because the mayor man mentioned him being unhinged. So Trump, convicted felon, also met with some CEOs yesterday on Capitol Hill, and word on the street is they walked away like, what the fuck is wrong with him? So Andrew Sorkin, who's on MSNBC a lot, he goes, CEOs who said that he was remarkably meandering, could not keep a straight thought, was all over the map. And so some of them who were kind of soft Trump supporters walked out a little startled.
Well, they better be concerned because, again, when is the debate? When is the
June 27th? June 27th.
That's right around the corner.
Coming
I'm
up.
so fucking scared. I'm excited and terrified at the same time because this shit could go anywhere. Because Joe could have a bad night, Trump could have a bad night, or Joe could fucking kill it, or Trump could it could be a thing where out of everything, he finally prepared for something, and he could be Johnny on the spot as well. So, because that motherfucker is funny sometimes. So
I'm gonna say this: given it seems like every opportunity lately that Trump has been in front of a camera, he has said something completely out of whack. There's the sharks and batteries. I think today he said, "I actually don't need your vote." He said that again. Mm-hmm. He was like, he said that again. Then he also said, and a woman nobody's ever heard of before, Kellyanne Conway. Like, what are you talking about? Do you know what year it is, sir? The other thing is, I was talking to, hey, Allison, I don't know if Allison's watching or not, but we were talking last night, and I said, look, Joe Biden has been going back and forth overseas. He, was in France the other day, and then he popped off to other country, came back. Motherfucker, I can't do a red eye, okay? So, I'm like, whatever y'all giving him, he be out here on bikes. I still can't run because of surgery. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm still riding with my man, okay? Joey B, I share your similar, like, sort of like feeling some kind of way about the debate, but I'm just gonna stay hopeful and
that's all I can ever do. I would say just based on performance publicly, not just speeches, just the things that have happened and reactions, and it seems like Joe is doing pretty good.
Yeah, so far. Again, these overseas scripts ain't they to be played with. So time zones,
especially considering what was going on with his family, the court case and everything. He handled this with a lot of class. So yeah.
Look, I still ain't back on the right time zone. Right. So, like, okay, all right. So in September, there's a new movie coming out, Fight Night. We have this trailer, which we can show, right? Like, that's not a problem.
We gonna go ahead and do it. I mean, they can get us if they want, but what the fuck they gonna do to us? I was confused though. Is it a short miniseries or a movie?
I thought it was a movie based on an actual event.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
That left jab is
on the biggest night in Atlanta history. There was only one place you had to be. And this little shindig is just the beginning. Do you bring together all the baddest mothers around? Something's bound to go down.
Get on the ground! Everybody get on the fucking ground!
This whole city's about to be a crime scene.
Well, I'll say this.
Yes.
Samuel L. Jackson and these wigs. He has a new wig for every movie. And
I love it.
at one point, I feel like he had in his contract, I need each subsequent wig to look crazier than the one before. Because this one looks good. This looks like this is a Dennis Edwards style wig.
I was about to say, he looks good. Now,
one. Yeah, this one. Because remember he was in the movies that were was it Unbreakable? The one where they were superheroes.
No, yeah, I know. Mr. Glass, I know which one you're
Yes.
talking about. Because that when you mentioned his wigs, that is the one that stood out. Because that one was wild, but I think that was a part of the character. I thought.
Yeah. He had like his bones were brittle. But
yeah.
Now y'all know good and goddamn well. The only reason Terrence is in this movie because Taraji had to have fought to get this nigga a role in this movie.
Wait, I'm glad we figured out why he looked like that one time we saw him, like a month or so ago? I mean, we figured it was a period piece, but the way he was just comfortably like, this is my look right now, I was like, sir. But Antoine, here's the thing. This type of film with this type of character, this one, Terrence was crazy ass shine. So I'm not mad. I'm just like,
this looks good.
Yeah, like this is when
good.
Terrence, if you can get Terrence to focus like in a particular lane, he still excels. What is crazy?
Well, that's the one. I mean, the one thing I will never take away from him, he is an excellent actor. Nobody can take that away from Terrence Howard. Because he tends to pick. He's good at picking roles that speak to his strengths as an actor. I'm sure he's not going to disappoint in this.
He's also good at fucking up those relationships so that he can't. Like when he was in Iron Man.
Because his problem is that he talks too much. He got in trouble. Remember, he got in trouble with Jamie Foxx that one time.
As fuck.
He said something about Jamie's album, and he said, man, I heard the new Jamie. The truth of the matter is, Jamie's album just isn't that good. And I guess Jamie had the foxhole at the time, which you are very familiar with. And roasted him. And when you go out of your way to say some shit about a comedian, because like today, either Crescent or Danielle
I sent it.
Yeah, Crescent sent a thing on the thread with me, her, and Danielle, and it was 3 images of Marlon Wayans looking zesty, but looking zesty for a reason, because it's Pride Month. Showing that he's an ally, and somebody decided to say, you failed as a father, because apparently he has a trans son, I believe. And he responded and said, I should have my niece fuck you with her strap on. And it just broke the fucking internet. Like, I don't know why people do this. But what I guess what I'm trying to say here is, you are not exempt if you are a part of the industry thinking you go speak on a comedian in that way. You better, because I've seen Terrence be funny before, but not like Jamie.
Well, also, Jamie's not just comedian. Ray Charles, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like you even he's divorced from like an actor industry. Like he performed, sir, go toe to toe, Oscar. Okay, so
multi-hyphenate. But the punchline of this is one day Terrence was in the elevator and Jamie walked in the elevator. And I guess Terrence was like, man, what's with all the jokes, man?
The fuck you? Keep my name out your mouth.
And I think Jamie's response was, I was just playing. He tells this story on the foxhole. It's hilarious. But yeah, Terry just talks too much outside of, his acting roles. And he stopped doing that. I think he'd get more roles.
There's a lot going on with Terrence, so I'm just happy to see he's still collecting a couple checks. So do you, bruh? What's up, Chavez? Chavez said, "Whoop that trick." True. He was quite the performance and hustle and flow. Tony, we are going to be okay with Kevin Hart because we might need to try and get on his network. So hey, over here, we all good with Kevin Hart.
I've never had a problem with I've never had a problem with Kevin Hart. I think with comedians, there's a playing the dozens thing, and it's highly competitive. So if you're not tight with one, you usually end up at least on a friendly basis. There's like a competition going on, so they kind of they'll say zingers about one another here and there. But I can't speak to anything that he's like. The one thing they got the video of him cheating on the wife, but I'm like, if you hold that against niggas in the industry, then nobody would be left.
That's not my problem. That is his
right. Exactly.
Partly what I've heard is his movies. The character he tends to play is a little bit aggravating. People are really like, I'm good on seeing yet another Kevin Hart movie.
Yeah,
like there's a little bit of irritation there, but
like a one trick pony type. Like,
though I actually think he is good. It's just there is that it's the Kevin Hart voice and like sort of there's just a through line that you're kind of like, okay, here we go again. But there are things when I've seen him in that I'm like, oh no, love you in this. Like this is great. And look, okay, Chavez and Tony. So Chavez is like, Kevin's good peeps. He looks out big, time for his peeps. I've heard this. Like when he looks out, he looks out. Monique has a different story, but Monique got a different story about everybody. So whatever. Yeah. Tony said he's not funny. That is and remains my issue.
Oh, he said a no. Damn, Tony, tell him how you really feel.
What's the banner, Antoine? We don't. That's all you, Tony.
Because I can't speak to it. I haven't seen a lot of Kevin Hart's material. I think what's hilarious is I was a big fan of Modern Family, and they tried to write him into Modern Family at one point, and they changed their mind.
Yeah,
he was talking. He was their neighbor.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, they finna bring Kevin on, and then nothing happened.
Look, Kevin also, as someone noted, it makes like $1 million every like 2 days or every day. Like he's on like Bezos money. So,
oh yeah.
No, look, I know a lot of people who work at the production company. So hey y'all, what's up? Yeah, that's our show for tonight. Monday, we'll be back. Yeah. Chavez said I plead the fifth, Tony. I cannot. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Did y'all like the video? Did y'all tell a friend?
I think most people liked it.
You know what I keep trying to get us to talk about, but all these other headlines keep bumping this out the way, is that Lake Lanier in Atlanta, and the people keep dying in it. You know
what are they dying from?
Because the lake is haunted and motherfuckers need to stay out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, let's try for Monday. I'm gonna try for Monday on that one.
Okay, yeah, I like looking at large bodies of water, but I don't usually get in them because.
So, Lake Lanier, it's one of those. It used to be a black town that they deliberately flooded and then put a lake over it.
Oh my god! So this is like some poltergeist shit. Is it the ancestors? Are the ancestors killing white people in that fucking? Oh shit! Yeah, we got to talk about this.
Monday. That'll be Monday.
Okay, niggas, we'll see you on Monday. I'll have better control of the buttons. Toodles.